All right, okay. Oh, okay, it's working. It's 9:02. You want to get started?
Yeah, I was just getting a drink. Okay, we can start. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen and we will get started. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to SBYIR's workshop, How to Find Not Boring Scientific Images with SBYIR's lovely layout staff. So just to introduce ourselves, I am Komal. I'm the Assistant Layout Chief of SBYIR. And if everybody else wants to introduce themselves.
Yep, I'm Isra. I'm one of the graphic editors.
I'm Fanny. I'm a layout editor.
I'm Jacqueline. I'm also a layout editor.
All right.
And Ujala might be joining us later. Feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat as well.
Yes, please introduce yourselves in the chat. If you're a writer, if you're not a writer, you can, or if you're not affiliated with SBYIR at all and you just came for fun, please introduce yourselves. We want to meet everyone. Okay. All right. So to get on with our workshop, first we are going to go through a little fun activity where we decide which of the following images are effective or ineffective. So we're going to show you some images. We're going to tell you what the topic that they're supposed to show is. And then you can just type in the chat whether they're effective or ineffective. What do you think? And then we will explain the correct answer and if you got it right or not. So let's get started. So this is the first one. So would you say this is effective or ineffective? And keep in mind that the topic is PTSD.
They're still doing introductions. Give me 1 minute.
Oh, okay. You guys can keep doing your introductions.
Yeah, when you finish introducing yourselves, just hit the chat and let us know if you think this photo is effective or ineffective. Would you want it in the journal or not?
Also, can everybody see the screen? Can everybody see like the PowerPoint? Okay. Yay, yeah. Fantastic.
Awkward silence.
So many writers. We love that. We love to see it.
Yeah, thanks y'all for coming.
I wonder why you're here.
Even though it is mandatory.
Yeah, but the reason it's mandatory is because I think that this will really help you with not only SBYIR itself, but just like finding any scientific images, whether it be for a presentation in the future or just any other research journal that you do, because a lot of times images can kind of make or break how effective your what you're like researching is or what you're explaining is, because if you can explain it to the best of your ability, you can be the best writer ever. But a lot of times, if there's not any like visual component to it, then people might not be inclined to read your beautiful writing.
You gotta know your audience. Yes. Appeal to that audience. All right,
because
okay.
Many people are visual thinkers, so yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Trey gave his take. Anybody else have opinions? Any opinions?
You can even just say effective or ineffective, just one word. You don't have to write
if you
give
have
a reason
reasoning,
if you don't
feel
want
free.
to.
Yeah.
Yes. So once we get a few, we will give the answer. Okay, it doesn't look appropriate for a scientific journal. Interesting. Anybody
a little
else?
amateur.
Ineffective, okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
Specificity wise.
Interesting.
So we have a couple responses. So I will explain. This is actually an effective image, even though at first glance, it might seem like, oh, it's a little informal. You might not see this in a scientific journal. Even if it's not the typical scientific image you see, it's still pretty interesting to look at. It's a nice image, it's high quality, it has a nice color scheme, and it would look really nice in the journal. And most importantly, it conveys the topic. So yes, although Fiona, you bring up a great point that it can demonstrate general feelings of sadness as well, it does work for the PTSD topic. So even though it can work for multiple topics, if it works for the thing you're writing about, it's great, it's good to go. So you might notice that this is a painting, it's by Van Gogh. And so this is like a historical painting, and it's more creative, I guess, than the general scientific image, and creativity is encouraged. So you can be as creative as you want, you can submit images that are a little off the beaten path, but still work for your piece. And the good thing about historical images is that many of them are in the public domain, so we don't have to worry about copyright issues. And fun fact, the Met Museum actually recently released all of their images of historical artwork for free. So it's available in the public domain, and it's available to use for us.
So yeah, if you can find a Van Gogh painting that goes with your article, feel free to submit that.
Yes.
I know a lot of people were saying that it's inappropriate for the science journal, but keep in mind that creativity is encouraging. So
Yes.
It's more flexible than you think. Okay.
For example, I do know one of the writers, I don't know if he or she's here, I forget who it is, but one of you is doing a piece on agriculture for this semester, and there are tons of historical paintings of fields and farms that would work really well with your piece. So keep that in mind. All right. Okay, the next one. Would you say this is effective or ineffective? Keeping in mind, this is for cardiovascular research. Anybody?
Got some effectives.
Okay.
Several effectives.
Everybody's saying it's effective. Okay, so this is actually ineffective because if you look closely, it's very poor quality. It's not very clear. If you zoom in on it, it doesn't look good. And even though it does convey what you're trying to say, it's also a pretty boring image. It's not fun to look at. It's not interesting. So even though at first glance it might seem like it's effective, it's actually ineffective. So it has to be a good quality image to put in the journal so that it looks good in print. All right, so alternatively, the writer could have submitted these images. So the one on the left is much more artistic. It's clear, it doesn't have too many, well, it doesn't have any words that kind of distract from what it's trying to say. And it's good quality, it's interesting to look at, it's fun, and it conveys the same thing, but in a more interesting way. So the one on the right, if you really want to have like a diagram and you really think it's important for your piece, you can have a diagram, even though it might not be as interesting, but just make sure that it's high quality. Like this one, it's very similar to the last one, but it's much better quality. It's high resolution, and that's what we need for the journal. All right, moving on.
All right, so this topic would be Mars and the human factor, about how people living on Mars and going to Mars, and if human can handle going to Mars. So that would be a topic. So between these two, do you think these two are effective or ineffective images for the topic? Just drop it in chat.
You could say like photo 1, effective photo.
Yeah, or left and right.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Okay. So it seems like people think the right one is effective.
All right.
Good Interesting.
Effective, right,
Just- oh,
ineffective.
Okay.
Oh, we
that
got a
means- so
we
we
have a
got
different
agreement.
response.
opinion.
Yeah, keep it coming. That's why we're doing this.
Yes. Breaking from the norm. I like that.
Debbie, you have a different opinion from everyone else. So can you like just drop a short reason for why you think the left is effective and the right is ineffective? Since
Let's
you're
put you on
kind
the
of the
spot. If you
since
don't
you're
want to
kind
talk.
of
I was
the
gonna
odd one
say-
out.
I was gonna say, okay, one, I want to be different, you know, but also I feel like the images are very like squished and like very tiny. I don't know. Like I feel like the Mars is like more clear,
Okay.
but also I could most likely be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Nah, you gotta have confidence. Bro.
No, I like
No
the way
one's
you
wrong.
think.
You know what?
Okay.
These are
So,
very subjective, so
yeah,
go on.
there's really no wrong or right. You can, yeah, it's really based on opinion. But for a scientific article, we would both we would say these two are not that effective for the topic of Mars and the human factor. Like the left side, it's aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't really convey the message of the topic of Mars and the human factor and how like if humans can handle going to Mars. But on the right side, it's a good diagram, but it's really like childlike. You would say like you wouldn't really find it in a scientific article. It looks kind of boring, and I don't think it's really eye-catching either. It's really plain, like there's no color, nothing really. So, and it's also a low quality graphic. So both of these are not that effective for the topic. So in this case, if you can't really find an image that is effective for your piece, you could now request for a graphic editor to make a graphic for your piece. However, for this semester, that's unavailable right now.
That window is closed.
It's
Okay.
too late in
Yeah.
to request a graphic. But for future reference, if anyone is continuing to write for SBYIR and wants to, if they encounter this problem, they could request a graphic for future semesters.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to
And-
reiterate, you want it to relate back to the topic. The first one doesn't mention the human factor, and the second one isn't that high quality. That's basically.
Yes.
Yes. And so this is why it's important to, once you're writing your pitch and you're submitting your outlines, maybe then is a point where you can kind of look into images and you can see if there are images that are available for your topic, because that is the point where you'll be requesting graphic editors. So if you do that earlier rather than later, then you can ensure that you will have beautiful looking graphics for your article.
Yes.
So come back next semester and do it right. I mean, yeah.
All right. So just quickly, it's the same thing, effective or ineffective. So which one do you think is effective or ineffective? Drop in chat. Okay, you got a effective for both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, while they're saying that, we do have 5 minutes before
Effective.
the
Look
breakout
at
room.
Yes, Trey.
yes, sexy colors.
We got guys. We have
What's
4 minutes
effective?
before the
Right.
breakout activity.
Okay. Okay. So between these two, the right is more effective because if you look at it, it's more high quality. You can definitely see what it is. It's a coral reef. But on the left side, you can't really tell what exactly we're looking at. So that would not, so between these two, I would say the right is more effective. So yeah, and Komal, you can. So instead of the left side image from before, you could have submitted an image like this where it shows it shows more of a coral reef restoration more than the image before where you couldn't really tell what it is. But in this case, you could tell that it relates more to coral reef restoration than the other image. And it's high quality. Yeah. So next.
So part 2, we are going to tell you how to find images.
Okay. So first thing to think about is keywords. And so a really good place to start is your topic, like what you're writing about. And depending on the topic, it might be helpful to be more specific or general. Like I know some topics might be more abstract than others. So some keywords will be better than others. And then for the more technical side of things, setting filters while you're looking for images. So when you're looking for images on Google, make sure the licensing is set to Creative Commons and the image size is set to large. And that way you can ensure that the pictures you find are all high resolution and good quality. So when searching for your images, keep in mind like visual and interest of image and like how aesthetic they look and how they'll look with your piece. Okay. So now we're gonna go more into like keywords and what you should look for when searching for images. So first you can go to like Google Images, like you just type in Google Images and it should take you to sort of the web page you see on the top left. And then on that screen in the bottom right corner, there should be a settings bar. So if you click on that, there's an option to click on Advanced Search, which should take you to the screen on the right. Yeah, and then so this is sort of what it looks like when you click on Advanced Search. Sort of the top part is where you can put in your keywords, and you can see there are like many different options for doing that. And then for the bottom, that's where you can put in your image specifications. And again, just make sure your image size is set to large and your usage rights is set to Creative Commons licenses. And so alternatively, if you just kind of go into Google and just click on like the image tab, there should be a button that says tools. If you click on it, there's an option for size and an option for usage rights. So like we said before, size should be set to large, which you can see in the top right picture. And then usage rights should be set to Creative Commons license, which you can see in the bottom right picture.
And so now we're just going to do a little walkthrough to reinforce and reiterate what Jacqueline just went through. So, okay, so let's say that I want to find an image about the nervous system. So I'm going to go into Google, I'm going to type in nervous system, just basic keyword. I mean, the nervous system is very vast, obviously. So depending on exactly what you want, maybe you just want one single nerve cell, maybe you want a specific part of it, maybe you want a specific process. So based on that, you will put in keywords, but for our purposes, I'm just going to do nervous system. And then I go to tools and usage rights. We set that to Creative Commons, so we don't have any copyright issues. And the size to large. So if you really have trouble finding images in the large category, you can, as a last resort, go to medium, but it's strongly encouraged to really try to find images in the large section because they will be the best resolution for the journal. Okay. So then I can look at the images, I can see if I like any of them. And maybe, you know, at first glance, this seems nice. It has a lot of things labeled, but the graphic isn't that well made. The color scheme isn't that great, and it's kind of boring. It's basic. So maybe we don't want this. This one, it's much more like painterly. It looks nice, but it's kind of busy with a lot of captions. So that's not that great. This one could be nice. It has a nice color scheme. It's not too busy. It does have labels, but in the form of pictures. So that's kind of unique. I think that's cool. Maybe you just want a single like close up of it. And I think this is one of my favorites on this image search. It's really high quality. It's really interesting to look at. It's really cool. And I think this would look really good. So I think this is one of my favorites. I also really like this one. I think this is really cool. It shows the whole like nervous system, but it doesn't have any like annoying labels. And yeah, if you want like a certain thing labeled, maybe you can like put that in a little note when you submit your images, like, oh, maybe label this one thing or these two things. That's like a simple fix. That's something simple we can do. But anything like more than that, like creating an entirely new graphic, then that's a little more complex. So yeah, so that's
we'll go into how to submit recommendations for like things to add on to a image and like later on in the presentation.
Yes, we will go over that. So yeah, I hope that helps to kind of see the whole process. Also, like I said earlier, you can have historical paintings for your images. And if you do some digging, you might find that a lot of historical paintings show what you want to convey. So for example, if I want to find some historical paintings of trees, truss trees, you can type historical painting before whatever keyword you're trying to search for. And then that will bring you to a bunch of historical paintings for your topic. So let's say I like this one, right? So notice I'm not worrying about the size and the usage rights for now. I'll explain why. So let's say I like this one. And this is because for most historical paintings, they have multiple photographs of them, and one of them is bound to be Creative Commons licensed and a large image because these are all in the public domain. So for this, I'm going to get the title and who the painter is, and I'm just going to type it in. And then I'm going to search for that specific painting or piece of artwork that I want. And then at this point, you see a bunch of them come up. At this point, you can go to your Creative Commons and your large size. And voila. So we find something that works. You can do this one, and this satisfies all the requirements it needs. But so the reason I did this is that you'll notice that if I go back, and if I go here, this picture shows up here. But when I do the Creative Commons and I do a large size, that picture isn't there anymore, right? But we know that that picture is in the public domain, and since it has a lot of images of it, there's bound to be one that is large enough to use for the journal. All right, so that is both processes for how to find just regular images and historical artwork. And I hope that walkthrough helps you out. All right, back to the presentation. Okay, next we're going to go through how to save an image. This is pretty simple, not rocket science, but just to reiterate, in case anybody doesn't know or isn't sure what to do, we just want to reiterate how to save an image. So the most important thing is you want to make sure to go to the website where the image is located. Don't try to save it directly from the Google image search, because a lot of times the image search can kind of lower the quality of the image that you want. So just to avoid that, go directly to the website where the image is, right click on it, click Save Image As, and save the image onto your computer. Maybe you have a folder that's dedicated just to SBYIR, and you can save it there. Alternatively, once you go to the website, you can open the image in a new tab just so you see just the image. Maybe it's a bit more clear for you. And then from there, you can save Image As into a folder onto your computer. All right. I'm just going to look at the chat. All right. So how to format captions.
Okay, so formatting captions is pretty simple. You just have like the figure numbers. So in your piece, if you have more than one image, just like number them from like the order they appear. So just have figure number bolded, and then you just have the caption text. So an important thing to remember is you shouldn't have any punctuation between the figure number and caption text. So no colons, no dash, just a space. And then for image citation format, that's also really simple. You just have the words image retrieved from : and then the URL. If it's not like an image that you got from the internet, like maybe it's just like a picture you took or a picture you took from like your friend or something, just say image courtesy of their name and then their graduation year. And then the apostrophe they use for graduation year is not like the normal one. It's kind of like if you look on your keyboard, it should be above the tab key. So it's that one. And you can see an example on the right. So we just have like this picture of COVID-19. So yeah, you have figure 1 and then bolded, and then you just have like your caption and then image retrieved from and then the URL. So yeah.
All right, now we will do some breakout room activities. So we have 2 breakout room activities. The first one, which we will introduce here in the main room before we go, is that we will search for images about the greenhouse effect. So we're going to do this together in our breakout rooms, and hopefully it should be fun. All right, so Isra, if you want to open up the breakout rooms and assign people.
Yep. Okay. Don't forget to record whoever's in the different
Yes.
room. Okay. Then just open all rooms.
I'm going to stop sharing.
All right. You should all have been invited. Okay. I'm gonna head to room 1. Okay. All right, Fanny. Screen share.
Yep. All right.
Just go to the prompt.
All right, yeah. Okay, so to reiterate, we're gonna be walking through how to find an image for the topic greenhouse effect.
Try to pay attention because you're gonna be looking for it on your own for the second activity, okay? All right, so what's happening? As we're going through it together, our topic is gonna be the greenhouse effect. So what's the first step? How would you, the question's on the slide. What are some keywords? Let's start off with that. If our topic is the greenhouse effect, what would be some keywords? Just let us know in the chat, or you can say it out loud.
Greenhouse effect.
Okay, yeah, that's fair game.
So greenhouse effect. So
Head to images.
So you go to images.
All right, okay.
So from this,
what would you do? Where would you go first?
How would you set all the
usage and size?
Usage stuff.
You can call out or send in chat.
So what filters do we need?
And how would you
for
access
our
those
journal
filters?
articles? And then we can just.
We need to go to tools and then Creative Commons.
Yep.
So you're right. So we go to usage rights and then click Creative Commons license. So
what else? What else?
Okay, what else? There's one more thing we need to do.
The size, you have to put large.
All right. Size, you pick large. All right. So these are all the images that come up. So
how do we
any
decide
of them? Yeah. So which one do you guys think would fit good for our article, for our scientific article?
Yeah.
And if there's none available, you can say that too. Yeah. And then if we're down with that, then we can search for other keywords.
Yeah. So you would try to deduce if there are any effective images. So do you guys see any? You can like click, oh my bad, I'll be back.
Honestly, the first one probably looks pretty good.
This one?
All right, yeah, it is pretty high quality.
Yeah.
It has minimal clutter. I'm not sure how I feel about the color scheme, to be honest.
True. Could be. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it could work though.
If you were trying to
It could
speak, we
work.
couldn't hear you. So
I would say
it could
this,
work. You could make it.
yeah. I mean, out of all the other ones, I say this one's pretty good. Like,
Yeah, the other ones are either cluttered or don't really get the message across, I would feel.
I mean, this one's okay. I wouldn't say it's great though. But yeah, there's not really a lot of options.
Okay, so
So-
if you see not many options, what should you do?
So
should
we
your-
can start using other keywords that relate to greenhouse effect that would
Yep.
work. So does anyone have any
Other
keywords besides greenhouse effect?
In the chat, Jonathan said global warming.
Okay, search global warming.
Suraj said goat, but I don't think that was a keyword.
All right, so these are the images that come up from global warming. So do any of these strike out to you?
Call out if anything looks nice.
Yeah.
The second picture isn't terrible.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah, I like this. I like this picture.
pretty gorgeous.
Yeah. I would just say again the color scheme thing could be, I don't know. It could work though. It's good. It's clear. It's high quality. It shows like it conveys
the theme.
topic.
Yeah, the
Yes.
topic.
So this one would be a good image.
I like the polar bear one.
Polar bear one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe that
I
one.
agree. This one is pretty nice too. It's really aesthetically pleasing, especially with the colors. Like this would be a nice color scheme for a general article. Like we can work with this. I mean, we can work with this too. It's just this one again is more aesthetically pleasing to eye. Also conveys the message of the theme. So yeah. So
Do you think there would be historical
someone said the
paintings? I
fourth
have no
one.
idea.
Someone said the fourth one. One, two. This one. I think someone said this one.
Oh, yeah.
I would say for this, I wouldn't. So between the other two, I wouldn't say this one. I don't. Isra, do you want to comment?
I would say it's not. I feel like it doesn't convey the theme.
Yeah.
hold on, 5 minutes left.
Yeah, like it just looks like a highway.
Yeah.
Sunset. Doesn't really
Does give a
convey the
doomsday
theme,
vibe, but
yeah.
I don't think it's the right kind of doomsday, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So
Alright,
do you want to continue doing?
Yeah, technically, we're like 10 minutes. We shifted the schedule by 10 minutes, right? So we have another 4 minutes for this activity. Right? Isn't that what
I
we
think she's
discussed?
frozen. All right.
Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, God, what's happening? God,
For
sorry.
our journal articles, you would really not want to include a lot of graphs, charts, unless it really conveys the point of your topic. Like with graphs, you can't really, like, no one's gonna, I wouldn't want to look at a graph. Like it doesn't really attract the eye when you're reading an article. And sometimes with graphs, it can be hard to read. So that's also another reason why we don't really like to include a lot of graphs, since and it's boring basically. So we don't really include graphs or like to include graphs in our articles. But yeah. All right. So is it?
It's 9:38. So
All right.
if you think we're done here, we could just start the next activity.
All right. Did you? Okay. All right. So our next activity. So next activity, you're gonna be actually searching for images for your own articles, for your own pieces this semester for writers, and anyone else who is not a writer can look for a cover image for our journals. And our theme for this semester is mysterious, lost, and hidden science. So, yes.
Slight problem. I'm no longer a host because I lost connection. So I can't send those messages. Okay, hold on.
All right, do you want to lead it then? I'm not gonna try to figure out.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this next breakout room activity, I mean, I think most of us are writers. If you are a writer, look for an image for your piece this semester. So, you know, whatever your general topic is, try to figure out some keywords for those. Remember which filters to use, the Creative Commons and the size to make it large. And try to consider what would make a not boring image, okay? When you find one, send the image link in the Zoom chat, as well as the keywords or the topic that you used, okay? You guys have until 9:40. Well, preferably 9:45. Sorry, you guys have until 9:45 to send your links. Okay. Any questions? So just find an image for your article. For people who aren't writers, try looking for a cover image. So our theme this semester is mysterious, lost, and hidden science. So try to find a keyword within there and look it up on the Google. Sorry, something's hurt. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? If not, then I guess just get to it.
Wait, Isra, are you supposed to just broadcast the message?
Yeah, but I can't because I'm not host. I'm not even co-host.
Right, I think I can do it.
Okay,
oh wait,
yeah.
can I make you co-host? I don't know.
I don't know. Sure.
All right. Technical difficulty. So should I just send a message like everyone should be starting on activity 2? Just a reminder, once you find an image that you like, you can just drop it in chat. We can take a look, and afterwards we'll reveal some of them.
Yeah, but don't be too worried about like being critiqued, and we won't bully you if it's a boring image, don't worry. Keep in mind that writers are basically required to have images for their articles, so make the use of this time and just find something worthwhile.
Can I just
obviously right now? Yeah. Picture of what?
Travis.
For what? The cover image?
Cover image. You can ask Lauren if she'll accept it.
It kind of does fit the theme though.
True.
Yeah, so keep in mind that you guys are going to be expected to submit images anyway, so Right now, obviously, you're not making a caption, but eventually there will come a time. So make the most of it. Also, when you send your link, send a topic, because for like a reference point.
All right, so I guess I got enough images, and we can just start going over reviewing all the images that we see. All right.
All right.
This was the first image.
Yeah, Suraj, what was your topic?
Lightning strikes.
Lightning strikes. Yeah, so this pretty much conveys it. It's a very high quality image. I think it is pretty as well. I think.
Yes.
I would say it's effective.
Yeah, I would say this is a good image. I think it's really aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It would catch the reader's eye. It's high quality. Yeah.
And it's definitely relevant, obviously. And I'm assuming you went under the Creative Commons filter, so
yes, it is.
Should be
common.
clear there.
Yes.
Oh yes. Okay, good. Should we go to the next?
Yep. All right. So this one's the next one,
right.
submitted by, I think,
their topic
Jonathan.
was animal defense mechanisms in shape-shifting aquatic life. Yeah, honestly, I think this is pretty sexy. Yeah. I think aesthetically pleasing, gets some sort of message across. a little confusing. I thought it was I thought it was coming out from the sky, to be honest. But you know,
Yeah. I think it's
probably the water.
It's a good image. It's a good image. It's high quality. Yeah, it's
and it gets the message across because it's clearly an aquatic animal. Yeah. There's not much to say on it.
All right. Next one we have. What is this?
I think this is for
this is Wendy, I think.
Autism, mental health, camouflaging behavior. Oh, camouflaging. Yeah, I think that definitely gets that across. One, I think this might end up being a little busy with the specifically
background.
things. Yeah, the background.
Right. I think maybe like if you could just take away the background.
You
Or,
can
like,
put in like a
just-
request,
Yeah.
like we mentioned before, like adding notes to your submissions on the Google Drive, just like, oh, maybe consider removing background, that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's not a hard fix. But yeah, in terms of like if we put this on a layout, it wouldn't really blend with the rest of it because obviously we're not going to make the entire layout background those words. So with respect to that, I would say it's somewhat ineffective, but you know, alterations can be made.
Can
so.
be done, yes. So if like last resort you can't find anything and this is like the best image you can find, you can always request to have the background.
So when you
removed.
do not be sad.
Yes. This is why we're doing this, we're all learning. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, next one we have this
What was this
submitted
for?
by Fiona.
Oh, this is for Drosophila. It's a
Mhm.
fly.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely relevant.
I mean, yeah, it's the picture of the fly. I would say it's a pretty good image. It's high quality.
Color scheme is there. it's warm.
Yeah.
I mean, for this,
I would just
I
say that
guess
it would be
yeah.
kind of hard for our layout, like how like if you have other images that would be great, but I feel like just this image, it's like it's obviously it conveys the theme, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
is
it's
it
really
just about all about
attractive
the
to eye.
yeah, I feel like if there's more to the article, if it's not like what about the fly?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I'm writing
like, you
about.
can-
Oh, sorry. What?
Go ahead. So no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm writing about fly sleep and waist clearance, and I tried to type that in as well, but most of them were graphs, and yeah, so I'm not sure which one to choose. Like, if I should just focus on the fly or like to choose a clear graph.
If you can find a clear graph, that might work if it's relevant.
Yeah. I would say you could. So what was your topic on again? The waist. What was it? Sorry.
Waist clearance and sleep.
So you could always search for images that aren't really directly related to like, you know, like a fly, but you can use like stuff that you talked about in your article, like even something small that you talked about, you can include, you can just search for an image on that specific topic that you referenced in your article. It doesn't have to be like related to the whole article itself.
It could be a
You always
component
look
of
for,
it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yes.
I think this was a great start.
Yes.
Some of you can even consider submitting these. I would definitely
All
submit
right,
more
I think
than
there's
one.
one more.
Oh, there's another one.
More.
Okay, it is
Yes,
51,
there's one.
so.
Right, okay. So if you guys have any other questions, you can always just reach out to us on Discord. I feel
Yeah,
like.
consider submitting multiple images with their
yes.
captions, just in case like we determine that something's ineffective. But yeah.
So if you guys, if we didn't get to your image and you want opinions on the images you chose, you can always just DM your layout or graphic editor. In
Yeah,
your
we're
Discord,
in your Discord chat,
and
so
yes, you can always just ask for opinions.
don't be shy.
And stuff.
Also, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I think that is a very it's an effective picture.
Thank you. It's Saba, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
All
So I
right.
think we're gonna leave breakout rooms now, right?
Yeah, I guess leave because whoever's host isn't closing them. All right. This is a good start, guys.
Okay.
Feel free to leave the room.
The breakout room.
Don't leave the meeting. We leave the breakout room. Oh, Ujala's here. Hello.
Hi, Ujala. Do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, I'm Ujala. I'm a graphic. I just found my calculator, sorry. I'm a graphic editor.
All right, Komal,
Yeah.
want to do the presentation again?
Yes. All right. Last thing, you guys are troopers. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yes.
All right. This is the last part of our wonderful presentation. I hope you think it's wonderful too. So this is how to submit your images. So this is arguably one of the most important aspects of this, because if you find a bunch of images and they're great quality and they're nice, but you need to know how to submit it properly. So Fanny will go through this.
All right. So first, obviously, you're going to search for an image. You find an effective image. So first, you want to save the website. You want to go to the URL of the actual photo and not just the Google URL of the photo. So you would want to like go to open a new tab to the image itself and use that URL. So when you cite your image, like Jacqueline talked about before, you would put image retrieved from and then the URL, or image courtesy of name and the graduation year if it's not an image you found from the internet. And then next, you want to write a caption for your photos, for your images. So, and then lastly, you want to upload your images, and this is important. So if someone can just drop the Google Drive link in the chat while I'm talking. So first, I'm pretty sure everyone has access to our Google Drive folder. So you want to go to that drive and then click the tab to 2021 to 2020 to 2021, sorry. And then spring 2021, and then editorial, and then writers, and then you would drop, oh, sorry, wait, you would, okay. So you will upload your images to that folder, to your respective folder. And then on a separate document, you want to put all your citations and the captions for your images. And you want to make sure to clearly indicate which captions are for which images and which citations are for which images. And then lastly, if you have any alterations you want to do to the images itself, like you want to crop a part or remove a background or just add something to it, you can always just leave a comment on the document and indicate which specific images you want alterations on. And then you would have all that in a single document, and then you would upload that to your respective folders in the Google Drive.
Yes, so just to clarify, you can just drag and drop your images from your computer that you save them to into your Google Drive folder, just so that the images are like directly there, like the original images. And like Fanny said, have a separate Google Doc for all of the other things that we need.
Yes.
All right, so this concludes our presentation.
Do you have any questions?
Don't leave yet.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Don't leave yet.
Yeah, so thank you for coming. These are SBYIR's Facebook and Instagram pages. If you don't follow them already, make sure to follow them. And just remember, we have a Jeopardy night tomorrow, so you guys can turn up for that. That would be awesome. So yes, thank you guys so much for coming.
We would appreciate some feedback. So if you could take the time to fill out this form that I just sent the link to, that'd be very nice. You have like 4 minutes before the hour's over. So, oh wait, is that for us, or is that for them?
Oh wait, it might be for for you guys.
Oh shoot. Okay, don't bother.
Disregard.
Disregard. Both of you to assume I'm prepped for this. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Both of you to assume I prepped for this.
Okay. Also, Lauren is our current editor, graphic editor. Wait, layout editor.
Layout chief.
Layout chief. Something like that.
Without
Okay.
her, this would not be possible, even though she couldn't be here for the whole thing. So shout out to her.
Yes, her being here for the last 5 minutes really pulled it all together.
Lauren is
Lauren. She's.
Want to give us a house tour? I don't even
Wait,
know.
what?
You guys.
Nothing.
Our suite in Chavez.
Oh wait, the poster's falling. Ignore that. But yes, just to echo what Leia has said thus far, thank you guys so much for coming, and we hope to see you at our next workshop.
Yeah, we have another one next Wednesday. So
Same time, same place.
Over Zoom.
Yes.
Nothing changed.
Thank you for bearing with us. I know
Thank you.
it was,
For
there
an
was a lot
entire
of
hour.
issues, awkwardness, but you know,
Yeah, my host
that's how it
privileges
is.
were
Yep.
revoked.
That's how it is. All right. So
All
thank
right,
you
you guys are free to go. Thank you guys for coming. Hopefully this is helpful.
Yep.
I just have a
Layout and
question.
graphics stay on.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Have a great night.
You
You
too.
too.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I just have a question about like the settings
Yes.
when you look
Yeah.
at the image. Just really quickly, if you click on an image while those settings are on, and then there's related images that show up beneath it.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Do those also
Yeah.
follow like those settings?
No, that's a great
No.
question. So the images that show up, like, you know, the related ones, those don't follow the same settings. So just
Okay.
look at the ones that come up like in the original like Google search.
Okay.
That's a
thank
great
you.
question. We did it. Oh my god.
We did
Yay.
something.
Oh,
Did I stop the
Lord.
recording?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
did I stop
Yeah.
recording?
Oh my god, thank you
Okay.
for recording, Jacqueline. I completely forgot about that.